Hello everybody, this is Thor Young with Bear Bull Traders, and I am going to do a recap for you on my ANF trade. I did things a little bit different on ANF, practicing some new strategy types, and it seemed to work out pretty well. My final ad was on a common strategy that I use for everybody all the time, so let me run you through that and show you what I was doing. So I had a short bias in ANF today. ANF was in our list, thanks Carlos and Norm. It had a lot of downward pressure due to some bad earnings. And you could see it actually on the 5-minute here, you can see that it had made a price level and was actually at the time descending very heavily into $14.61. So I had a pretty good short bias at the open of the market. The only thing I was worried about was just the overall strength of the market, if that was going to do anything. But ANF had a catalyst, so it should continue to do what it's doing. So I was watching it at the open, and it popped real strong on the open, probably a lot of covering. And as it went up, it couldn't get above this 1525. So I went ahead and I took a small position short, only on about 50 shares, and was just going to see if it would get a breakdown because I was just practicing the opening range here. My stop out would have been 1551. Just above a nice psychological number because I didn't really have a lot of levels I was interested in above that, so I just picked that as a nice psychological level, and it went up and it got to 1548 and then rejected and came back down. So when it rejected off of 1548, I looked over at the time and sales here, and I had a lot of orders stacked up to the downside. So I went ahead and took a short on it, and added in. And kept my stop out still at 1551. I just increased my risk a little bit by adding in a couple hundred shares. So it broke down to VWAP, and I took a nice partial at VWAP and then another one at the moving average, and then it pulled against me and got back to my break even. So I went ahead and took off everything but my original shares that I had going up to 1551 just in case this was going to get up to high a day and break through. So I took those off, everything was looking pretty decent, and it couldn't make it above this level, and it pushed back down here, making this basically an official double top. So couldn't make it up any higher than this. Now it's falling down. So I'm pretty happy about that. And one thing I like the most, if you look at the 5-minute chart, is we couldn't make a new 5-minute high. Now, we have a lot of traders here that use this indicator as a big short indicator, and they tend to get slightly better entries than I do because they take their position a little bit earlier. But this lack of ability to make a new 5-minute high and to reclaim that high a day shows a lot of weakness in the stock overall. So the stock pulled back down, and I went ahead and added back into it off of this indicator. Came back down, pressed against VWAP a little bit. I refrained from taking a partial there because I wanted to get a better move, at least back down to 1506. So I was just holding in it. And then, lo and behold, my favorite pattern should appear. You'll notice here that right here at my price level of $15.18, you can now see that we have a descending triangle starting to form. So as it gets back and it goes 1, 2, and gets to a third touch to my descending triangle, I went ahead and added in another 500 shares. This time my adjusted break would just be above 1530, or the break of my pattern. As soon as I added in, almost to the second actually, it broke straight through and went straight back down to my previous price level, so I grabbed a partial there. And then it went down to the 50 moving average on my 1, so I took a partial there. As you can see, it got through that and came back up and settled into the averages. I actually considered adding in again here, but I was already doing well into the profit, so I thought I wouldn't look the gift horse in the mouth and get greedy, so I just kind of held on to some position and then started taking off at key levels all the way down. This one was a P&L grab, and then this one we had the low of the open, and then we had the lows of 2 of the lows of pre-market. So, and then that's where I'm at now. So I'm holding on here. I've still got about 15 shares left that I'm just letting run to see how low she can go. I'm going to hold on to these. This could dump all day, so I'm just going to let these run, see if maybe I can squeeze another 50 or 60 bucks out of these shares by the time the end of the day is done. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope you're all staying green, and I hope you enjoyed my recap. Thank you.